So, the trick you're about to see was supposed to be filmed a couple of weeks ago during a show that I was doing. Unfortunately, the gimmick that we've designed for this specific trick, for Fool Us, broke on the day of the show, so I was unable to perform it that day. So I'm going to do my very best to perform it in my back room for you with the help of my dad. So what you're about to see is going to be a butchered version, but I'll try my best. Also, the video that you see at the start of the trick that you're about to see in a second would normally be playing on a screen behind me, but as I don't have that available, that's going to cut into the video now, and then what you see after that will be totally uncut, and that's the portion of the trick. Thank you, and I hope you get back to me.
I got this job as an electrician, and they got this job to do to rewire a huge, old, ancient school. So we rewired most of the school, but we had to fix a lot of new mains equipment in this little room, which was connected to the corridors, which ran from east to west, and it all had to be done at dead of night. So there was just me and this apprentice, and it was just going dark, and we sat about, and we got one light rigged up in this little tiny room. It got to about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and of course everything was dead quiet by then. I mean, there wasn't a sound of traffic. All you could hear was yourself breathe, when all of a sudden we noticed from way out in the distance somewhere a door clanged to, you know, and it echoed all the way up the corridor, you see. We thought, oh, put that down to the wind, carried on working, and then we became aware of, and in the distance again, this sound, and it was like a dragging, and it went whoosh, plonk, whoosh, plonk, whoosh, plonk, as slow as that it was, and it got nearer and nearer, and it's coming up this passageway, you see. So anyway, it came nearer and nearer, and it's still going whoosh, plonk, whoosh, plonk. Well, it really scared us. Then it came round the corner to where this room was, and it came actually to the door of the room where we are. And we just looked in horror at this doorway, and then it suddenly opened up just wide enough to pursue what it was.
Ghosts. Do you believe in them? I know my granddad did. In fact, at the end of that very story, my granddad told me that when he opened that door, he found a dead man lying on the floor with a small object in his hands. And my granddad would not stop telling me this story until his last day. Now, this sent me on a voyage of discovery about psychics, ghosts, and the occult. And yet I don't believe in any of those things. But the 17th century sparked the age of the seance. And in 1760, a book called Dialogues of the Dead was first published, which outlined how to perform a psychic reading. You need two things. The first thing is a spirit box. And I have here on stage an exact replica of a spirit box that would be used by people that believed in dark magic and the occult in the 18th century. And the second thing you would need is a tarot deck, the most infamous of which was called the Thoth deck, created by the famous occultist Aleister Crowley. Now let me be very clear. What I'm about to do was outlawed for most of the 18th century. Punishable by death, even. And as I've mentioned already, I do not proclaim to be a psychic, nor do I believe in ghosts. So, I will be performing a psychic reading on stage here for you. But I won't be using a tarot deck. No. I will, in fact, be using Pokemon cards. Now, it is said in Pokemon card reading, which is what we will be calling it today, that the Pokemon cards are a reflection of yourself, a mirror, if you will. When you look inside them, you can see the deepest parts of yourself. For example, if you were to draw Pikachu, it may proclaim that you are the main character of your own story. Or maybe if you were to draw Mewtwo, then it would indicate that you have different personalities for different situations. Or if you were to pick Dragonite, it would indicate a sharp tongue. Now, for this reading, I am going to need a volunteer. Please, can I get a volunteer? Thank you very much, sir. Sir, I have here a set of small keys. Please, can you catch these and hold on to them? Great, okay, and just pop them in your pocket, and don't let anyone go near them. We'll come back to those later. Now, sir, For a spirit box to work, it requires an offering. Now, in the 18th century, these offerings were often born out of suffering. It would be something to do with someone that's passed away in the past. Now, as I've mentioned, we are not doing an 18th century psychic reading. We are doing a Pokemon psychic reading. So for that, we need to go for one of your happiest memories. So, sir, please could you say out loud the happiest memory that you have in your life? And it has to be a memory, ideally, that you could put a date to it, a date and a year.
Okay.
Okay, out loud to everyone here, please.
My wedding.
Your wedding. And when was that, please?
20th of August, 1983.
The 20th of August, 1983.
Yes.
And we haven't spoken before this.
No.
Sir, thank you very much. You may now take a seat. Thank you. Now, that's the first part. We've made an offering of a memory to the spirit box. The second part we will need is the reading. So I'm going to need 3 volunteers from the audience, please. If you could, thank you very much. Yes, yourself, and yourself, and yourself. Perfect. Thank you very much. A big round of applause for our volunteers. Okay, now, I have here a pack of Pokemon cards. And what we're going to do is dish out a few Pokemon cards to each of you. If you could just take those for me, please. I'll put them there. And those for me, thank you very much. And those, great. Thank you very much. I would like you to please all look at those Pokemon cards that are in your hand and make sure no one else sees this. But in a second, when I turn my back, I want you to find a card that resonates with you. Now, while I'm talking, I'd like you to do that for me now. Now, in Pokemon, all of the cards relate to the major arcana in tarot. There's 22 major arcana cards. All of those cards have a meaning, and they tell me something about your personality. Can you just confirm, have you all chosen a Pokemon card?
Yes.
Excellent. If you could place that card against your chest and place the other ones face down for me, that would be great. Now, all of these Pokemon cards have a meaning, okay? I want you to all look at your cards one last time and burn that card, the name and the image of the Pokemon, into your minds. If you could do that for me now?
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, please could someone else, anyone in the audience, gather up those cards, the ones that were chosen specifically, shuffle them up and bring them on stage for me. Just the ones that were chosen, the 3 that were chosen. And shuffle them up so I don't know who would have picked what. Have you got them?
Yeah.
Excellent, thank you very much. Okay, the Pokemon cards. Here's how we're going to do this. The psychic reader would take the first card, Magikarp, and he would try and link the card to the person. So for example, Magikarp actually links to the Magician card inside the Major Arcana. Now the Magician carries with himself a secret. A word even. Can everyone say abracadabra?
Abracadabra.
Sounds good, doesn't it? Abracadabra actually literally means I create as I speak. Meaning anything you think of, you can manifest into the world. But the true secret about the magician is it's not what you say or what you think, it's what you do that creates great action. And I believe that the person that picked Magikarp will be someone that's making great change in their lives right now for the better. And I think, madam, Magikarp would be the card that you would have picked. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you. Now the second of these cards is Bunnelby. Now, Bunnelby actually relates to the chariots in tarot. Chariots constantly drive forward. They're an immovable object that drives and pushes forward in life. And this person at the moment is striving for something. Now, this might be in work or it might be in your personal life, but I believe you're Sir, did you pick Bunnelby?
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, obviously, the last one is really, really easy. You picked Sneasel, sir. Is there a reason you picked Sneasel?
I just like the name. It's quite a nice character.
Sir, or Sneasel, as you'll now be known, please could you also come up on stage? I'm going to grab this chair. If you could come up on stage, that would be great. That would have played, obviously, while he was walking up on stage, but we're 2 people. Okay, sir, I'm going to flip these cards in front of you. What I'd like you to do is catch one and hold it to your chest. I'm going to close my eyes, okay? Just catch one from the air. Okay, go. Hold it to your chest. Have you got it?
Yeah.
Do you know what your card is, sir? Make sure I'm on camera here. Do you know what your card is, sir?
Sneasel or this one?
This card you've just picked.
No.
Neither of us know what card it is.
No.
And you picked it completely at random from the cards that fell.
Yes.
Sir, I believe that it's much harder to find a man's character from chance than from what they picked. Don't look yet. I believe, sir, you have picked Squirtle. Show
Yes.
the camera. Now, to finish this off, I told a story, or rather my granddad told a story at the start of this trick. My granddad's story ended, sadly, with a man's death and a small object in his hands. And you gave an offering to this spirit box here on stage. Please can you pick up the spirit box for me and place it on your lap? Please can you tell everyone what is on the front of that spirit box?
A padlock.
Show them for me. Now, sir, you made an offering to this box. The offering was a date. Please can you reiterate to everyone what that date was?
20th of August 1983.
Your wedding.
Yeah.
Please could you put 1983 into the code on the padlock?
It opens.
Take the padlock off. Please open the box and tell everyone what's inside.
A box.
Another box. Please describe exactly what that box looks like.
It's a metal box with a padlock on it.
Show this empty wooden box. A metal box with a padlock on it.
Yes.
Sir, I gave you some keys at the start of this. Please could you take those keys out? Shake that box.
Something in it.
There's something inside. That man that had passed away in my granddad's story was holding a small object. And something I didn't tell you is, he told my granddad what was in that object and he showed him just before he passed. Please open the box. Tell everyone what's inside.
A ring.
The object was a ring. Now, sir, please have a look on the inside of the ring and tell everyone what is engraved on the inside of the ring.
20th of August 1983.
The 20th of August 1983, the date of your wedding. Thank you very much, everyone.